Welcome to the dark and dangerous world of the Irish Kinahan Cartel. This notorious criminal organization has operated in the shadows for years, ruling the criminal underworld with an iron fist. But today, we're taking you on a journey behind the curtain to reveal this infamous gang's secrets and inner workings. In this video, we'll dive deep into the life of the Kinahan Cartel, uncovering their illicit operations and exploring their impact on the communities they touch. So buckle up and prepare for a wild ride as we dig into the dangerous world of the Kinahan Cartel. Let's begin. We begin our journey into the life of the Irish Kinahan Cartel with the birth of its infamous leader, Daniel Kinahan. Born on June 25, 1977 in Dublin, Kinahan was the eldest son of Jean Boylan and Christy Kinahan, a convicted drug dealer and alleged founder of the Kinahan Cartel. Growing up in Tallaght and the Oliver Bond Flats in the Liberties area, Kinahan was no stranger to a life of crime. At just 23 years old, he was one of 5 people arrested concerning a brutal assault on 2 Irish police officers outside Shelburne Park. Charged with assault and denied bail by the Dublin District Court, Kinahan's charges were eventually dropped the following year. These early experiences set the stage for Kinahan's ascent to power within the criminal underworld. So fasten your seatbelts and get ready to journey deep into the heart of the Kinahan Cartel as we uncover the gritty details of their notorious leader's rise to infamy. Welcome to Inside the Life of the Irish Kinahan Cartel. The birth of the Kinahan Cartel. The birth of the Kinahan Cartel was a murky and secretive affair, born in the back alleys and seedy bars of Dublin's underworld. However, the group's origins can be traced back to the early 2000s, when a young Daniel Kinahan, son of Irish gangster Christy, began to carve out his own reputation on the streets of Dublin. During this time, Daniel began to build his own criminal network, recruiting a motley crew of low-level crooks and hardened thugs to do his bidding. With the backing of his father's vast criminal empire, Daniel made a name for himself as a ruthless enforcer, feared by his enemies and respected by his allies. As time went on, the Kinahan Cartel expanded its reach, branching out into new criminal activities and forging alliances with other criminal organizations worldwide. With Daniel at the helm, the cartel became one of Ireland's most powerful and feared criminal groups, with a network that extended to Europe, South America, and beyond. But with power comes danger, and the Kinahan Cartel soon found itself embroiled in a bloody and brutal gang war that would define its reputation. The feud erupted in 2015 and saw the cartel go head-to-head with its bitter rivals, the Hutch Gang, in a wave of violence that left dozens dead. The war was a turning point for the Kinahan Cartel, when the group's carefully constructed image of invincibility began to crumble. As the death toll rose and the police crackdown intensified, Daniel and his associates were forced to retreat into the shadows, biding their time and waiting for the storm to pass. Despite the setbacks, the Kinahan Cartel continued to thrive, adapting to the changing landscape of the criminal underworld and expanding its reach even further. Today, the group is a shadowy presence, operating in the shadows and pulling the strings of a vast criminal network that spans the globe. Inside the life of the Irish Kinahan Cartel, nothing is what it seems. The cartel members operate in a world of secrecy and deception, where loyalty is everything and betrayal is met with swift and brutal retribution. But for those willing to play by the rules, the rewards can be immense, with vast sums of money and power to be gained. But for those who cross the Kinahan Cartel, the consequences can be deadly. The group's enforcers are notorious for their brutality, and anyone who dares to challenge their authority is met with a merciless response. Despite the dangers, the Kinahan Cartel remains a formidable force, a criminal empire that continues to grow and evolve with each passing day. With Daniel Kinahan at the helm, the group is unlikely to falter anytime soon, and its legacy as one of the most notorious criminal organizations in the world is all but assured. Ultimately, the birth of the Kinahan Cartel was a product of its time and place, a reflection of the dark underbelly of Dublin's criminal underworld. But while its origins may be shrouded in mystery, there can be no doubt that the group's impact on the world of organized crime will be felt for years to come. How the Kinahan Cartel operated? The Kinahan Cartel operated with a well-organized and highly sophisticated network that allowed them to conduct their illegal activities ruthlessly. At the core of this network was a group of highly trusted and loyal associates, handpicked by Daniel Kinahan himself. The cartel's operations were multifaceted, spanning everything from drug trafficking and money laundering to extortion and murder. They had a strong presence in Europe and South America and had established alliances with other criminal organizations worldwide. The Kinahan Cartel's drug trafficking operations were particularly extensive. They were known to import large quantities of drugs from South America, distributed throughout Europe using a complex web of intermediaries and front companies. The cartel also had an extensive money laundering operation, which allowed them to conceal their illicit profits and operate with a veneer of legitimacy. To ensure the smooth operation of their criminal empire, the Kinahan Cartel relied heavily on intimidation and violence. They had a network of enforcers known for their brutal tactics, including kidnapping, torture, and murder. Anyone who threatened the cartel's operations or defied their authority was met with swift and merciless retribution. Despite their ruthless reputation, the Kinahan Cartel was adept at using sophisticated technology and advanced communication systems to stay one step ahead of the law. They used encrypted messaging apps and other secure communication tools to coordinate their activities and avoid detection by law enforcement agencies. The cartel also had a significant influence over Ireland's political and judicial systems, which they used to their advantage. They had extensive connections to high-ranking politicians and law enforcement officials, which allowed them to evade prosecution and influence the outcomes of criminal investigations. One of the most striking features of the Kinahan Cartel's operation was their ability to remain shrouded in secrecy. They were notoriously guarded, with few outsiders knowing their inner workings or the extent of their criminal empire. This secrecy was bolstered by their use of code names and aliases, which made it difficult for law enforcement agencies to track their activities. The Kinahan Cartel operated with a level of sophistication and efficiency that was unmatched in organized crime. Despite their brutal tactics and ruthless reputation, they established a vast criminal network that spanned the globe and allowed them to operate with impunity for many years. While their power may have been diminished in recent times due to increased law enforcement pressure, the legacy of the Kinahan Cartel will continue to be felt for years to come. What it's like to be a member or associate of the Kinahan Cartel? Being a member or associate of the Kinahan Cartel is a dangerous and high-risk occupation. The cartel is known for its extreme violence and ruthlessness, and members are expected to be completely loyal and committed to the organization. Associates of the Kinahan Cartel are often drawn into the organization through familial connections or personal relationships with existing members. They are usually given a task or job to perform, and if they prove themselves reliable and effective, they may be invited to become full-fledged members. As a member of the Kinahan Cartel, an individual is expected to follow orders and be completely obedient to their superiors. The organization operates with a strict hierarchy, and disobedience or disloyalty can lead to severe punishment, including torture and murder. Members of the cartel are also expected to be discreet and maintain a low profile in public. They are known to use code names and aliases to avoid detection by law enforcement agencies, and they often communicate through encrypted messaging apps and other secure means. While being a member of the Kinahan Cartel comes with significant risks, it also brings a sense of power and wealth. Members of the cartel are known to live extravagant lifestyles, with access to expensive cars, luxury homes, and high-end fashion. The organization also has an extensive network of businesses and front companies that allow members to profit significantly through money laundering and other illegal activities. Overall, being a member or associate of the Kinahan Cartel is a life of danger, violence, and high-stakes criminal activity. While it may bring with it the promise of wealth and power, it also comes with the constant threat of retaliation from rival organizations and law enforcement agencies. Comment your views and subscribe for more such videos. See you soon.